What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about something that's very, very disturbing, because this is something that's not really being discussed at all here in America. And that is, apparently, no one wants to come here anymore. And that's a pretty big deal, you know? So, besides all the damage that's been done to the United States' reputation the last couple of months in particular, we're starting to suffer a huge financial blow due to all the tourism money that we're losing as well here in America. So today, I really want to check out this video by Report Zone that's going to explain a lot about what's currently happening to America that we're really not discussing or acknowledging here in America as a big problem. So let's take a look.
The U.S. is tracking a big drop in tourism from around the world. Take a look at this. Travel from Canada and Mexico was down double digits in March.
Oh my God! What? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. If you live here in the United States and you turn on the news, you know, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on, sort of as usual here in America. But you won't see reporting on this topic in particular, even though we're talking about double-digit drops in U.S. tourism in March alone from several different areas of the world as well. This is not like just Canada or just Mexico, like negative 17% from Europe. Like, oh my. And I feel like, seriously, I feel like a lot of Americans literally have no idea about this.
We're also seeing fewer visitors from Western Europe, Central and South Asia, South America, I should say.
Here in New York, tourism is also being hit big time, once again driven by negative sentiment toward the USA.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Yeah. Okay, let me get one thing straight here. I'm shocked and appalled because this is really bad for the United States, and I'm an American, and this affects me, and I didn't realize how bad it had gotten. But to be clear, I'm not surprised that this happened. You know, it actually makes all the sense in the world. I don't even blame other countries around the world and people around the world. I don't blame you for not wanting to visit the United States, particularly after a lot of the policies we've started doing, the tariffs, all the trade wars, and honestly, maybe even just because you don't even feel safe or welcome here in the United States, right? For any of those reasons, I totally understand, I totally get it, why people around the world don't want to travel here as much anymore. It's just, I'm more shocked at how bad it's gotten for us. And actually seeing, like, the actual numbers, that's shocking to me. And I don't know, it doesn't feel good.
Stunning images of near-empty passenger planes are popping up on social media. These international flights have many tourists flying to the USA practically alone.
Oh my
Shauna
God.
Massengill flew from London.
Hey! For anyone out there thinking about vacationing to the US, you might get your own private plane. If you do, am I convincing anyone?
To Chicago. Look, barely anyone on board.
There was nobody there. There was nobody in my row. It was really shocking. I've never been on a flight like that.
Something strange is happening in 2025. For decades, the United States stood tall as the dream destination, the land of skyscrapers, movie stars, and bucket list vacations. But this year, that dream is cracking. Global tourism is changing fast, And for the first time in a generation, the US isn't on the winning side. In the past,
Wow.
travelers came not just for the views, but for what America represented. Freedom, innovation, opportunity. But now, concerned, people are second-guessing. They're skipping the Statue of Liberty, avoiding Times Square, choosing other destinations. Not because of distance.
Yeah. I think a lot more Americans need to like watch stuff like this and be a lot more aware of really a lot of the negative effects of the things that the United States has, our government has chosen to do and our policies, and really understand a lot of the ramifications of this stuff. I think a lot of Americans actually think, okay, well, where the tariffs, that's a negotiating tactic. They're paused anyway. We paused them. Maybe we're not even gonna do the whole tariff thing. You know what? It's fine. It's all good. We're making deals. It's fine. No, stop. Just, it's not even about that anymore. Even if right now we completely ditched the whole tariff plan and got rid of them, and even apologized or something, the trust has been broken. The damage that's been done to America's reputation, you can't even quantify how much that has lost us and how much that is going to lose us. It's tariffs or not, whether that continues to be a thing or if we stop, it doesn't even matter. The damage is done. Like, it's not even about those policies at this point. It's just like, it sounds like people around the world simply do not like America, like on an emotional, personal level. And that's obviously going to affect us in with the tourism revenue that we're no longer generating, probably in lots of other ways too.
Or price, but because something deeper is shifting. In country after country, we're seeing the same pattern: hesitation. Not loud, not dramatic, but steady and growing.
Right.
Business travel is stalling. Student exchanges are declining. Entire airline routes are quietly disappearing, and the data doesn't lie.
So we're not even talking just about traveling to America for vacation, for pleasure. It's not even just about that. People don't want to travel here as much for education, don't want to travel here to get a job, don't want to travel here and contribute to America. It's not even just about tourism, by the sound of it. It's across the board.
In 2025, American tourism is no longer the safe bet it once was. According to the U.S. Travel Association's April snapshot, international visits have dropped significantly across key regions, including Western Europe.
Wow.
What's causing this? It's not one big moment. It's a combination of many. Let's talk about trust. Across Europe and Asia, travelers report rising concerns about U.S. immigration, long border waits, aggressive questioning, even racial profiling.
Right. I've heard some of the stories about, like, the border, the American customs, and entering the United States. It's not as accommodating and friendly as it once was. They can search your phone, they can question you, they can turn you down for basically any reason. And from different reports, it sounds like people are objectively reporting having a lot more negative experiences just trying to immigrate, or not even immigrate, like just even travel into the United States and get past border security and stuff.
National headlines are filled with stories of detentions and visa denials, even for professionals and students. These aren't rumors. They're real events, documented, shared, and amplified. In Germany, the government officially updated its travel guidance after several German citizens, including students, were detained at American airports.
I've heard about this a little bit, that a lot of countries have updated the travel guidance to America, like actively, like, telling their citizens, think twice about visiting America. Like, a lot of Americans do not know about that, by the way, that a lot of countries around the world are actively recommending not to visit America.
According to Reuters, the German Foreign Ministry stated that even a valid visa no longer guarantees entry into the U.S. In Japan, NHK, the national broadcaster, covered multiple incidents of engineers and tourists being held for hours by U.S. customs officers, fueling frustration among businesses and universities. And in Australia, SmartRaveler, the government's travel advisory service, issued multiple warnings about inconsistent airport security and increased scrutiny at U.S. borders. Meanwhile, Flight Centre, the country's largest travel agency, reported a 16% drop in U.S. bookings while travel to Japan and New Zealand surged. On social media, Australians share stories of invasive phone checks, long delays, and general unease.
I was questioned by one of the officers, and then shortly after, my mother and I were taken into a room. We were held there for quite some time before my mum was released, and then I was unfortunately remaining behind for further interrogation, and then that was about a 4 to 5 hour ordeal before I was taken to the federal detention center.
Why? Why? Like, what? Is there any more to this? Like, what is going on? You know, I haven't traveled, like, to other countries ever. I'm like most Americans. But I assume this isn't the normal protocol when you're entering any country to be, like, questioned and then detained, your cell phone taken away, and then held in a room for 4 hours and taken away again. Doesn't seem normal or rational to me.
News.com.au ran a widely shared article describing first-hand accounts of travelers being ordered to unlock their phones or face immediate deportation. This isn't just about tourism anymore. It's about identity.
That's so crazy to me. The phone checking thing. It's so, like, it's kind of stupid in a way as well, because couldn't you just, like, I'm not saying to do this, but what proof is, like, text messages on a cell phone or Google it? Like, before you come to the United States, couldn't you just text all your friends, like, man, I love the United States. I love it so much. It's the greatest place in the world. And then you hand your phone over to the border people, and they're like, this person really likes America. Come on in. Like, what? It's so, like, what are they even looking for?
Values, reputation. For many international travelers, America once symbolized optimism. Now, it often represents uncertainty. And let's not ignore the political elephant in the room. Serious tariffs, trade tensions, diplomatic friction. These don't just impact policy, they ripple down to everyday travelers. Flights get cut, insurance premiums rise, confidence in the travel experience falters, and the
Absolutely. We won't go too in depth into, like, the tariff situation, and who even knows, like, where are we at with the tariffs right now? Like, are we the tariffs against the rest of the world, basically? That was on a 3-month pause. I think that's going to run out next month. Then they're like, are we doing tariffs across the board? Is it just aluminum and steel? Is it just automobiles? Was it paused again? No, it was just China. Then 150% on China. Then no, paused against that. Now resuming, but just this. Who even knows at this point? It's just, like, been sort of complete nonsense for the last few months with how much that has changed and paused and then activated again. Anyway, we won't. I won't rant about that for too much longer. But that's obviously a huge part of this whole situation. That countries around the world see America right now as this super unpredictable entity. And why would you ever want to do business? Why would you ever? I can even say this as an American, just being completely logical here. No emotion. Why would you choose to do business with someone who has broken your trust and is completely unpredictable? Why would you'd have to be insane. And that's how the rest of the world views the United States now. So it makes sense that no one wants to do business with us, make deals, or travel here. No American should be shocked that this is happening. just shocked that we're not more aware of this and shocked at how bad the numbers have gotten. But it's not like we should be confused or we can't even really be upset that this is happening. We've done it to ourselves, really.
Response has been swift. In Canada, the country's closest neighbor, Forbes reported that in April alone, air travel to the U.S. from Canada dropped nearly 20%, while land border crossings fell over 35%. Canadian media and forums are filled with discussions urging travelers to skip the States and spend their money elsewhere. Global news highlighted a growing trend: Canadians canceling Florida vacations and buying properties in Portugal or Mexico instead.
Damn.
Realistic airlines are responding too. Air Canada has reduced routes to U.S. cities and increased flights to Latin America and Europe.
Europe, the rest of the world's just laughing. You guys are probably getting in. They literally said Canada is decreasing flights to America and increasing flights to Europe. Europe and probably other places around the world probably are seeing increased tourism and new trade deals with different countries trying to fill the void that, America is leaving now. So a lot of you guys around the world are probably benefiting from America's downfall here.
The truth is, the world still wants to believe in the US. The culture, the music, the technology, it's still admired, but concerned. But in 2025, admiration isn't enough. What people want now is respect, safety, and consistency.
Yeah.
In France, Le Monde published a front-page piece suggesting that America has lost its romantic image. French travel agencies report double-digit declines in US bookings, with many travelers now opting for Spain, Greece, or Quebec. The French no longer view the U.S. as a guaranteed ally. Polls show that over 70% of French citizens now hold unfavorable views of American leadership.
Oh, okay. Okay. I thought I was going to say 70% of French people hold an unfavorable view of America or Americans. I wouldn't have been shocked, but it's really the unfavorable view of our government, which makes sense.
Can this trend reverse? Absolutely. But it's going to take work, and not just flashy advertising campaigns. It will require reforming how America treats foreign visitors. That means clearer border policies, cultural sensitivity training, and deeper cooperation with foreign consulates. Because tourism isn't just economics, it's diplomacy, it's storytelling, it's how people relate to a place before they ever step foot in it. And
Absolutely. There's like the logical side of this, like why would you want to visit or do business here? And then there's the emotional side of like America, it feels like America has betrayed a lot of the world with coming out with all these crazy tariff policies, and America seems like a crazy place right now, for lack of a better way to say it. It seems like a crazy place. From the outside looking in, I can totally understand that. I get it. So it's like an emotional thing at this point. Like, people are probably like afraid to come here, honestly. I get it.
when visitors stop coming, it's not just lost money, it's lost trust, lost relationships.
Yes.
If America wants to remain a beacon of inspiration, it must repair more than runways. It must repair its image. Maybe that starts with empathy, with realizing that every traveler, every passport carries a story and deserves dignity. What do you think? Is the US still the dream destination it once was? Or are we witnessing a quiet unraveling of something much bigger? Drop your thoughts in the comments.
Oh, yeah. That would be an interesting discussion. Like, what can America do at this point to come back from this? Reverse what's happened? Can the damage be undone? Can America repair its relationship with a lot of countries around the world? I don't know. I think it would take a lot of time, and the trust has been broken, and that's really, really hard to repair. That's really hard to repair. It's sad. It's a sad state of affairs for the United States, and I think a lot of us Americans don't even really understand exactly how bad some things have gotten, like the tourism going down. But this video really spelled it out for me. Made it very clear to me, almost depressingly clear. But it's so much better to be informed, not ignorant. And ignoring the truth and it's uncomfortable for Americans to acknowledge this, but you gotta, like, so I'm glad I took a look at this. This was really interesting. I think more Americans need to check this out. And yeah, I did enjoy it. It was a well done video too. So anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on what the image of America is like right now. If you're from another country around the world outside of the United States, is it true you would not want to travel here? Is the American reputation, the American image, what is that like right now around the world? That would be really interesting to hear about. And if you're interested in more videos like this, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.